How's it going today, everyone? This is Hellhawk here, and today we are going to be doing the second video of our series for the Invictus coverage. Today being the final day of the AEGIS sale. Couple things, we're going to walk through the showroom floor. I'm going to give you some commentary on some of the ships that we have here. And then we're going to take a quick trip over to the website and just briefly highlight some of the ships that didn't make it into the game, specifically the Javelin and the Idris. Those are concierge only sales, which I just found out yesterday. Very difficult to get your hands on, but again, we'll go over those in a little bit more detail. Now, I'm not going to go over how to get to the Invictus event in detail. It's just ores and landing. There is a shuttle called Vision Station, I believe, and you just take that shuttle here. Oops. Come on. Yeah, my first video I went over that. Now I know that I had messed up my recording on that, so I do apologize. Again, just starting this, trying to get everything together, figure everything out. But yeah, I guess we can start our walkthrough here. Again, today is Aegis, the last. So yesterday was the start of Aegis, the Aegis sale. The 2 days before that were Anvil Aerospace. Tomorrow, I believe, it's RSI and a few other smaller ones. But let's take a look and see what we have available. So there's a couple different halls. The main one seems to have some of the bigger stuff that Aegis has online, including the Hammerhead, the Redeemer, and the Bomber. We have the Wardens off to one side. We've got the Titans, Gladius, and Eclipse in the other. And then we've got Hollow Suites that have the Vulcan and the Nautilus. Okay, let's go ahead and do what we did last time and start downstairs at the Hollow Suite real quick. Yeah, there's one of the coolest ships in the game right there, the Retaliator. We'll go into a little more detail on that. What I would say, though, is if you are considering playing with a bunch of people and you like to blow stuff up, that's not a bad choice. It's one of the most affordable, most powerful ships if you're buying something with real money. Granted, I don't know if the base is on sale. It might just be the Bomber. Okay, so starting with the Aegis Vulcan. So the idea is this ship is going to be a refuel, repair, and rearm ship. Now, if my memory serves, you actually have to outfit it for one or the other. You can't have, there won't be enough storage to have a true multi-role capability, which is fine. You don't want a ship in this size category to be too overpowered. It is a drone controller. Those panels on the side right there, those are the drone docks. There should be 4 in total. But with the refueling mechanic being added in, and of course everyone knows that using ballistics is kind of a pain in the butt right now because of reloading and how long that takes. So having this eventually set up to be able to reload your friends on the fly, maybe make a little money off of them, this is going to be a nice addition, but drones have to be in the game before they release this, otherwise its functionality is basically probably just refuel it. So I'd rather they take their time and get that out to us when it is fully functional. Here's another one that is going to be very interesting. This is the Aegis Nautilus. Now, the Nautilus is a mine layer. And from what we've seen, there are a couple different types of mines, including explosive mines and sentry mines. So the mines pop out of the back over here. As far as damaging coverage, I believe each of these turrets on the sides are twin size 3. They seem to pop out a little bit, have decent articulation, so probably pretty decent coverage. And then, of course, you have the giant twin size 7-man turret up front. So if you have 4 people and you want to go have some fun, this is a 3-story. It's 3 stories. We'll really have to see what the mine gameplay looks like before I can recommend this to anyone. It is a $725 ship if you're buying this with real money, so it is a pretty penny. My thought is, maybe if you have a lot of friends that are mining, you can potentially lay down a support, like a support layer of mines, sentry mines to keep people off of your Orion. But again, until we know more about mines, it's going to be really difficult to recommend this for anyone who's interested in anything but the essentially rule of cool. That's all this is there for right now until we have more details on those systems. Okay, let's go take a look at some of the other ships. You know what? Let me see if I can switch over to... We may just take a look at the other Aegis ships now. Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's do that. Display capture. Okay. So real quick, here is the full list of ships that are for sale and their values. I did want to highlight these two. There was a sale that ended yesterday. There were 3 waves where you could spend 3,000 in ship store credit or 2,700 war bond in order to grab these, and these pretty much sold out within 30 seconds to a minute. I think some of the war bonds, popped back. That's probably because someone's credit card got declined because, it's only 2,700. But the Javelin's going to be an amazing ship. Multi-story, 20-something crew minimum. It's supposed to be modular, so it's going to have different roles it can take. Regardless of the role, massive guns, lots of guns, massive torpedoes. I think now they're up to size 12, which... the largest we have in reference right now in game is size 9, and those pretty much one-shot anything you throw them at. And then it has a hangar off to the side that can fit a Redeemer, which is one of the ships that we'll be going over later, which is a extremely beefy gunship. Or, of course, any other, I think, single light fighter, medium fighter, or heavy fighter should be able to fit in this as well. But the thing to keep in mind with this ship is that this ship, when you get it, it will be stripped. And so one of the reasons why I personally wasn't interested in this is really going to take an org to get up there. So if you have an org that has, 15, 20 people with javelins, it's not like they're going to be able to suicide the javelin and then claim it and all's going to be good. If they lose that javelin, they have to go through and replace every weapon, replace the shields, replace the other components, or those modular rooms that they were talking about in the concept. They're going to have to replace those. Then they're going to have to equip those, and I'm assuming they'll find some sort of balance where, equipment at this scale will take some time to install. So losing one of these would really frickin' hurt. And as much as I'd like to say, yeah, let's just run it with a bunch of NPCs, if I'm spending that much time putting a ship together, the last thing I'm going to do is trust my ship to friggin' NPCs. Now, having them to augment your defenses, fine. But having a crew of nothing but NPCs, I don't know how we're going to be interacting with them later. I think they're still fleshing that out. But I can imagine that would be an absolute nightmare if you didn't have at least a core group of players that didn't mind playing on this thing all the time. So to me, this is just too much upkeep for a single person. I know darn well that my org or whatever org I'm in the future is going to have at least one of these. So don't feel that you have to buy these massive ships. I can promise you there are so many players out there with so many ships that no one has the manpower to fly all this crap. I'm one of them. Anyway, so let's go back to the Aegis page, and then I'm going to take a look at the AEGIS P, which is another ship that went on limited sale yesterday. And again, this is, oh, looks like they got a couple 1,300 war bonds. So if you got $1,300, you can drop it on this guy. But of course, all the store credit. I got mine store credit last night. I woke up at 3 a.m. to catch the final wave. And oh my god, I almost missed this. I'm glad I did not. Is this the K kit? Yep, hold on. Gotta get that. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up real quick. This is something I didn't actually see the posting for last night. And of course, you know, I'm like 3/4 dead, having just woken up to catch this sale, so I didn't see this. I am very glad that I did not miss this. I'm pulling this off to my other screen because this has my address on there. I don't really want you guys knowing that, sorry. But, excuse me, sorry. So, the reason why this kit's cool, so let me back up, sorry. I got distracted. We'll go over the kit and its significance here in a second. Okay, where was that page? I don't know about you guys, but their website drives me nuts trying to find some of this shit sometimes. Okay. So back to the AEGIS P. So there are two variants of the AEGIS. One of the original pledges was called the AEGIS M. If you've ever done the Xeno threat fight and you see that giant ship with the railgun blasting the friendly javelin, that's an AEGIS M. As a railgun, this turret switched out with an anti-ship missile turret. Has a couple more guns on the back. It's a real beast, and it's got more armor. So the AEGIS P, in lore, the AEGIS M is essentially the military variant of the AEGIS. Goes straight into the hands of militia. Nothing's ripped off of it. The AEGIS P is built from scratch for the civilian market. So you lose the size 10. You lose that front turret, but you also gain more storage. So I believe that the AEGIS P has 995 SC of storage opposed to like the... Is it 6? I'll look it up some other time. But the AEGIS M not being available anymore, I wanted the AEGIS P and the Kraken. Those were my two goals this sale. I finally have enough credit built up. And really my philosophy is, if I get the bigger ships, I'll be able to push through, because I have a bunch of the industrial ships as well. Securing the bigger ships with LTI means that I'm not going to have to worry about grinding a bunch of crap out in game if I did lose one of my bigger projects. The AEGIS P can be converted to have additional firepower with what's called the K kit. And that is what I just grabbed. And what that does, it adds the Hurston Dynamics Exodus laser beam. This is a size 10 laser cannon. I wish I had a better picture of it. Let's see if we can find. So size AEGIS K laser cannon. Okay, here's the concept. So instead of a giant frickin' railgun, you get the laser cannon kit. So I'm just adding more firepower to this thing. Not only that, if you look here, anti-ship missile launcher, gives you PDSs, which those are, if I remember correctly, these are going to be like anti-missile platforms, which is huge. One of the things I don't think people realize is torpedoes are going to be a nightmare for larger ships. I mean, they already are. We just don't have anything like the Aegis in the game yet that's player controllable, unless you steal one. So you can see what kind of damage those torpedoes do. But eventually, I believe that torpedoes are going to be one of the largest threats to these ships. And very few ships in the game currently have automated missile defense systems. I believe the Liberator concept has them. The Perseus concept has them. I think now the Banu Merchantman has them. Other than that, and the Idris, I cannot think of a single ship that has automated defenses. Possibly the Javelin, once they finish getting that in the game. I can't remember on that one, but again, it's a huge weakness, and I wanted to address that because if I am going to be using this thing for cargo or transporting a bunch of player ships or transporting vehicles, I'm going to want to have some decent defenses against missiles to add to its tank ability. There is a very good, so where the Javelin can be toured in game, currently the Idris cannot. But there is a very good video that Space Tomato put out there. Maybe I'll look for the link and put that in the description once we're done here. But he actually has a tour of a work-in-progress Idris, and this ship is going to be phenomenal. And then there's also a lot of, let's say, theory crafting out there about how many ships you can actually put in here. If I remember correct, it can hold an Argo, MPUV, or personnel, has a dedicated hangar for that, like underslung underneath the main hangar. And the main hangar is supposed to be able to handle 2 or 3 light fighters. However, because of Star Citizen's if it sits it fits rule, there's people that have shown where like they can just stuff this thing full of ships. So this might be a pretty cool ship transporter. Regardless, with the med bay, the armory, all of the different functionality this has, you and a group of 10, 15 people constantly going through and using this as a base, this is going to be a great ship to have a smaller org based out of. Or like a larger org doing patrols in an area, and they want something that have the range and they have the ability to support the ships. I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to see day one when these things launch and all you see are people in frickin' Idrises flying around the verse. Everyone's been waiting so long for this ship. You know damn well it's going to be a thing. If you are a concierge, which I am, and you have access to some packs here, I mean, $9,000 comes with the Javelin, comes with the Idris P, and then a bunch of shit that I don't want. If you got the $8,000, $9,000 in store credit, go for it. Just not my thing. And then the Dominus pack, that's always available. These are limited to this special sale this week. The Dominus pack is always available to concierge, and that comes with an Idris P and a bunch of random other ships. I feel like this is a better deal for what you're getting, but still lots of ships that I have no intention of using. Downside to buying packs. I prefer this because this is an individual ship. Okay, let's get back in game before I end up getting kicked to menus. Okay, so we're going to go back up. We're going to take a look at the larger ships that Aegis has available that are in the game, that are playable. And we're going to go through and do a little bit commentary here. So the first one is the Aegis Retaliator. Now this comes in 2 flavors. The base, which comes with a Retaliator bomber as a rental. The base is supposed to have 2 modular compartments. So right here is Torpedo Bay 1 on the bomber and Torpedo Bay 2. Now those will be swappable with cargo, personnel drops, all that fun stuff. They had a gold standard pass on this that they did last year. I think they're still working out the modularity piece. But this is going to be one of the first modular ships in game. Another thing is a ton of firepower for this ship. Twin size 3 turret, 2 twin size 3 turrets on the bottom with pretty decent firing arcs. As you go up and around, you've got above the rear wings, you have twin size 2 turrets, 2 of them, as well as a twin size 3 turret up above. This is one of the main rooms that will be changing with the rework. This docking port on the bottom is going to be gone. One of these elevators is going to be gone. This one's going to be a little wider, and then you're going to have a circular docking port on the side. Assuming they're doing this to upgrade the, get everything in line with their new docking procedure. Because, you know, gravity changes between ship and space and ship, and so this was probably just too much of a pain in the ass. I don't know. Either way, they made the change. So just a quick tour. Bathroom facilities on the ship. Component storage, you see someone's already opened these up. Further back, again, component storage, you have the rear torpedo bay, which I believe can be converted to a cargo container. These engineering stations are not active currently, but eventually the engineers will be able to use this post. And again, these are size 9 torpedoes, and to our knowledge, I believe size 12 is the largest in the game, so if you can imagine, that thing is already freaking massive. I think it does like 100 or 200,000 damage. I can't remember the latest spec. If you need that number, go to Urkel. It'll tell you. But absolute beast of a missile. Slower than shit, though. I really hope they do something with torpedoes and speed, because right now it is just not feasible. You know, it's got a lock range of like 30k. But at 500 meters a second, you know, you're going to be on target for forever. So here's that. So there's the 2 turrets on the back that are twin size 2s. Do not think because they are size 2s that they are useless. Size 2s in this game are actually pretty powerful. Oh, it's not going to show me their fire, how many shots they have. But these actually have a ton of ammo, and so they can keep fire on target for a very long time. Pretty useful. So anyways, the turret access is in the back of the ship, along with some of the other component accesses, as you can see right in front of me. Comes around, there's the bottom turret right there, and then just an inverse of the other side, there are other turrets back there. So rushing to the front of the ship, you have the entrance to the other torpedo bay. This one has 4 opposed to the 2 in the back. And again, this is going to be able to be swapped out with like cargo or living space, a couple different things. And as we make our way up front, we have the underside turret, the pilot seat. I believe this is the captain's quarters. Yes, this is the captain's quarters. Pretty freaking small. This is more. Think of this ship as like a submarine. A lot of cramped quarters, getting a lot of power in a small package. Up here you have the top turret, as well as weapon racks for the crew, just in case there's, I guess, a boarding action and they have to repel boarders, or they're going to go on a ground mission. You have access to those here. And then we have the crew. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds. And I'm assuming that'll be life support eventually. But again, pretty cool view. Pretty cool ship. Remember, this is one of the oldest ships in the game. And so it hasn't gotten a lot of love recently. That newest gold standard pass, I'm really looking forward to that. One of the things to note in this ship, the pilot has 0 access to any guns. Completely reliant on the ton of turrets you have. But you do have access to your torpedoes, which again in this is 6 size 9 torpedoes. Where the heck is oh, it's not going to let me power up. Okay. Tons of MFDs. Lots of data here. This ship is actually one of the tankiest in the game. Has one of the largest health pools in the game. And a decent set of shields. So, like I said, if you have 3 or 4 friends and you just want to terrorize like the ERT missions, or you want to go around and just mess shit up, this is a pretty damn good ship to do it in. And the benefit, again, if you're going to buy in real money, the base version is $150. Oh, no! Here we go. We got the Star Citizen bugs going. Let's see, is the base even for sale? The base may not be for sale. The base is technically a civilian variant, and this is a military sale. Nope, right there. Retaliator base, 150. And then if you want the bomber, it's 275. And again, guys, personally, I'm not paying $125 for 2 modules I'm going to be able to buy in game for a decent price. I'd rather build out the bomber if I need it. Having the base and then having the option of buying my stuff in game is more appealing to me. And on top of that, the bomber is the rental. So I don't see the point. You may like the bomber, you might be military only, that's what you're here for, that's fine. That's just not what I'm here for. Oh, damn it. Come on. Oh, no! Ah! I made it. So yes. One of the many Star Citizen bugs. Sorry, I'm still getting over the COVID cough. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna jump through here. Okay. So that was the Retaliator. Over here is the Redeemer. I had mentioned that there is a gunship that fits in the Javelin. This is the guy recently released, I think 6 months ago-ish. This is an absolute beast of a ship. There's really no other way to describe this thing. It is a death brick, basically. It would help if I could hit the frickin' button. No. Wow. I am going to fight with this. I want to show you the inside of the ship. I had one until very recently. I melted it as part of my play to get the Idris. Alright, well, this I might have to show the Redeemer on a later tour. But essentially, on the first floor, you have some living quarters. You have a fully functional refrigerator with food and water. That is actually, it's one of those little things that's pretty damn cool. The guns, manned twin size 5 ballistic cannons of doom on the bottom and the top. The pilot can control the front twin size 3 turret, as well as the fixed size 4 in the wings. These can be replaced with gimbal size 3s if you want a little more versatile firepower. This does handle like a pig, so having the gimbal on the wings, if you plan on soloing with it, which I wouldn't recommend, you can get away with it. It's a little easier with gimbals. There's the pilot has access to size 2 missiles, fair amount of those. I think it's 16. It's got gun racks up top for when you do, and 4 jump seats for when you do boarding missions or ground ops. And then it also has the remote controlled twin size 3 gun. I find this one's a little difficult to use. I'm not a huge fan of remote turrets, but the firing arc on it is pretty amazing. But again, since it is one of the newer ships, it's got most of the features that you're going to see that we have access to in game. It's a great boat. The thing has just as many shields as a Hammerhead, which is that big guy right there. Just way harder to kill. This ship is ridiculous. If you have 2 or 3 buddies and you want to be able to take on everything, this is a hell of a ship to do it. I believe it's $350. Let's see. Oh, we went too far. $325. $325 if you're buying with cash. Should be available in game. Let's just check Urkel. I use this as my cheat sheet for everything. Redeemer. Yeah, available at Lorville New Deal for $8.7 million in game. Now we've got, is this the Comet or is this is the Saber. Stealth fighter, 4 size 3s, flies like a pancake. Stealth really isn't in the game right now. Underbelly missile launcher has 2 size 4 hard points. Eventually this is going to be a nasty frickin' ship. It's a lot of in fact, if you think about it, that new ship RSI Scorpius, the Scorpius for the pilot has a maximum damage potential of 4 size 3 guns, which the Saber has. And this is supposed to be stealth. I like this concept more than that new fighter. I'm more of a stealth fighter player. So I really hope they bring stealth back. It's a great ship. It's a sexy ship. Not something you're going to be really trading shots with. It's more of a zoom, boom, get the hell out. Go stealth. Well, let's touch on... I think this is the Comet. This is probably the Comet. So the Comet is one of those special skins. It's digital camo. Different loadout. I believe these are cannons. So you have Omnis guys. And... oh, those are Pyrippers. Those are... so 2 cannons and 2 shotguns. Shotguns used to be the meta. I'm not a huge fan of them now. They don't really do much. I think you're better off having repeaters. Anyways, again, just a skin. I think they charge you an extra $15, which is what a lot of the skins are going for. Between 5 and 15. So if the digital camo floats your boat, not a bad choice. Just probably won't be using those default weapons. Aegis Hammerhead. Largest combat ship currently in the game. Each one of these mounts is 4 size 4 guns. So it has 24 size 4 guns in total. If you're like me and you like dicking around, you've been in the game for a while, don't really care about in-game money, replacing these Badgers, which are the best guns to have on this thing, by the way. Laser cannons looks really cool. I equipped this thing with C788, so it's just like a flat cannon. It's almost useless in the game right now. They nerfed it to oblivion because of some bug with how it did dispersion damage, or explosive damage. But turning this thing into a flak boat's freaking awesome. Now in-game, see these giant size 5 machine guns? They have a size 4 variant of that, so I've equipped this entire ship with size 4 ADB4s, I think is what they're called. And I don't care about the combat effectiveness. It's freaking gorgeous. Firing off 24 machine guns. I can't wait for reloads. We'll do a quick tour of this guy if it'll allow me to open up the elevator, which it did. Keep in mind, the Hammerhead's been in game for a while. And because of that, it has not gotten an update. So it's missing a lot of the features that you'd expect for a ship to have, especially a ship in this class. There's been various bugs that have kept people from really using this in game, and size 9 torpedoes one-shot this guy, so it's one of those things where... no, see, this front door has been bugged. In here is like suit lockers and a front docking collar. But yeah, so the turrets on the side, when you get in the turrets, they actually pop out and away from the ship. Let's see if it gives me a... yeah, see, they pop out and away from the ship. Gives them great angles of fire, but also makes the turrets themselves kind of weak. If they're able to get through your shields, they can actually disable your turrets. Now, I do like that. I think that's amazing, because that means that disable gameplay is going to be a thing, and this is the first glimpse of it. Where you shouldn't blow up every ship you fight, especially the larger ones. You should be able to disable them, board them, or salvage, or, forcibly salvage them. We're on our way down to the pilot seat. Now, I don't know if they fixed this, but I've been playing for a while. Never, ever, ever, ever sit in the right seat. You will be bugged out. The pilot seat has a pretty cool animation. Very interesting setup here. So the pilot doesn't have access to any direct... let's see, did it give me access? It doesn't. Pilot has access to missile bays. So do you see these bronze flaps? Those uncover a top missile bay, and then on the bottom, that is also a missile bay. You can fit a fair amount of missiles in this thing. Just gives them a little extra punch, especially if you're going to be trading with something else that's large, like another hammerhead. Nothing else in the game is really going to... There's nothing else in the game that really compares to this right now. My hope is that eventually the Perseus is going to hit. It'll be in the same size class as a Corvette. I think the Polaris will be in the game eventually, and that is slightly larger than this, slightly different role. And this is just a fighter screen. We have escape pods. We have the rear guns. We have the Top Gun entrance right here. There is a second story to this ship. I'll prep that elevator. The captain's quarters. Kind of cool. Nice spacious captain's quarters. You can put your trophies on the shelf eventually, hopefully. He's got his own bunk, his own bathroom. Nice little thought out area. One thing you'll notice in this ship, no weapons racks. Now, you may be wondering, why does a fighter screen need weapons racks? Little engineering platform. In lore, the hammerhead would smash into its enemy, and then the Marines would fly through the docking collar and screw shit up. That's kind of cool, except there's no place for the Marines to sit. There's no weapon racks to carry the Marine stuff. So this will most likely need some sort of update if they plan on giving it any sort of troop transport capabilities, or maybe they'll say, oh, well, that was the original variant, this is a different variant, this is just a fighter screen. Who knows? We'll see. Here's the crew quarters, crew showers. The bunks here, 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the one for the pilot or the captain. I believe these are just the bathrooms. Yep, toilet 1 and 2. Nice little crew quarter area. Let's go back to... Oh, no. We're going to go this way first. Here's another engineering hallway. Okay, so here's the elevator to the second story. Does that actually do anything? It does. That screen's broken, but the elevator still works. Okay, we'll take it. Again, this is one of the elevators that was broken for a very long time. You'll notice that when they fix things, they have a tendency to break things at the same time. So this is mess hall. Kind of cool. You got like cold storage. So I guess you could have like a special ship quartermaster if you're going to be on a longer tour. The role-playing potential for these larger ships is huge. It's going to be interesting. You have an engineering station that overlooks the cargo bay. Now I'm hoping that these cargo tractors actually end up working at some point. You have 40 SCU, or you can carry like a rover, I think. And these are non-functional right now. I'd love to see those actually work, and then the engineer console being able to push cargo around. All that little stuff just adds to immersion. Okay. Then entering into the last room that we haven't been in, this is the engineering room. None of these consoles are functioning. It's all for show right now. And then the rear underslung turret, which like you get in, it flips you flips you around and upside down. Again, this ship, it's missing some details, but if you have a couple friends, you want to just have overwhelming firepower on anything in the game, and you have someone who's got it in game or in real life, this is not a bad ship. Only downside is that it is a little cumbersome. It takes some time. You're going to want to put the best jump drive you can find in this if you're going to use it. Otherwise, it takes forever to get to places. But yeah, this is the Hammerhead. So we've got 2 other rooms that we're going to check out real quick. Again, I might do more in-depth reviews of the larger ships later. Right now, I'm just trying to show off what is available at Aegis Day. They keep showing us this damn F-8C because it's part of the Invictus Flight Week. This is Squadron 999. I wish they'd take that away. If I can't have it, I don't want to see it. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So here we go. The Gladius. One of my favorite fighters in the game. One of the most capable, by far. 3 size, 3 hard points. And if I remember correct, 2 size 3 missile hard points and 2 size... No, it should be 4 size 3 missile hard points. I think that's 3, 4, 1 right there. But pretty damn good fighter. It's a little beefier than the Arrow. Definitely not as fast, but it makes up for it with its survivability. Still a hell of a ship. I would recommend this as one of your 2 starter fighters. The Arrow being the alternative if you're looking at getting into dogfighting. Then we have the Avenger series. This one's the Warlock. So 2 size 3 on the wings, size 3 gimbaled in the nose, or size 4 fixed in the nose. A hell of a lot of firepower for a little ship. It's got the size, I think this is also size 3 missile hardpoints. The ramp leads to the back, which is the EMP generator. Pretty cool animation. Warlock has one of the strongest excuse me, strongest EMPs in the game. I believe the Sentinel is the only one with a stronger one. I do not count the Saber Raven because I've seen like 3 of those in the years that I've played. But the Warlock, I'd say Sentinel and Warlock are the 2 most powerful. The Eclipse, 3 size 9 torpedoes, 2 size 2 guns. You're not dogfighting in this thing. You're basically targeting large shit at long range and letting loose. This ship is so damn fun. I have played, even playing against them. I think the most fun I had against an Eclipse was an Eclipse dumbfired a size 9 torpedo when we were playing Jumptown. And he had just gotten far enough away, or I couldn't pick him up with visual targeting, and he wasn't showing up automatically as a red pip. So as I'm flying at full speed, I'm scanning him down and getting his residual signature as I'm flying up out of the atmosphere, trying to chase this guy. It is a hell of a lot of fun. Again, I cannot stress how much I cannot wait for stealth gameplay to come in as a fully featured piece of combat. Of course, we need electronic warfare. We need scanning to be improved upon a little bit for it to really come out to its own. But hell of a ship. This thing is like $300 real cash. I would not buy this in real money. Get this thing in games, a couple million. But you can basically solo farm ERTs at a distance in this thing if you want to. Moving on, we have, again, the Avenger series. One of the best all-around starter ships in the game. In fact, I would still say the Avenger Titan is the best for a starter ship. I think it's like $55. Decent amount of cargo. Hell of a lot of firepower for a little guy. Comes in a couple variants. So this is the Stalker. Is this the Stalker? Yeah, this is a Stalker. So this is meant for bounty hunting. You're eventually going to be able to put people in these cryo chambers and transport them to, to meet justice. You have the pilot seat as well as the living quarters. These aren't functional. Eventually, this might be something that'll be cool in game where you can take your targets alive. Until then, I wouldn't recommend it. Here's the Titan. This is the standard variant. This is just a cargo room. Cargo room moves into your living area. If the cargo room is full, you can't walk through here, but you can exit your seat into your living area. But again, this is what I would suggest if you're looking for that starter ship. Other options, the Renegade. This is one of those special skins. Special loadout. But other than that, it's the same damn thing. It costs more money, and I think it's, again, $5-10 bucks more. That's just for the skin. To me, not really worth it. Just get... I mean, I think the space shuttle look is cool. Just get the standard space shuttle, and you save yourself a couple bucks. Okay, so that is this hallway. I think we got one more hall, and then we are done with our Aegis tour for today. Let's keep going. You know, if you stumble across this video and you have questions about the ships, feel free to comment below, and I will get back to your comments as soon as possible. I love talking about the lore. I love talking about the different ships. There's a shit ton of information out there. One of the videos that I plan on doing is actually, of all the people that have super detailed information, where I like to get my information from. There's a ton of great content creators out there, so I'm definitely not putting anyone down. I recommend specific people. Those just happen to be the people that I like their format. So just something to keep in mind when you see that video live. I think after Invictus, I'm trying to do a video every other day just to get going. But eventually, once I get this series done, I am really going to be pushing for a video a day for a month. And I know it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I got so much that I want to cover. And again, I've been playing this game for years. I'd like to at least get my opinions out there and see what everyone else thinks. Okay, so the Vanguard series. There's a couple heavy fighters in the game. There's Vanguard, the Hurricane, which we saw during Anvil Day. And then now the new RSI Scorpius. Now, of all of these, as a solo pilot, you're going to want the Vanguard. There, you just have unmatched forward-facing firepower. 4 bespoke size 2s. You can switch these up with laser cannons, repeaters, distortion cannons, repeaters, or ballistic cannons and repeaters. Tons of versatility here. And then this is either a size 4 gimbaled or a size 5. Now, I don't like having 1 gimbal gun and 4 fixed guns, so I typically just go with a size 5 in the nose. And then I got 4 2s and a size 5, plus whatever missile weaponry comes on the variants that I fly. It is just an ungodly amount of firepower. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. It will die. You might have some problems with hammerheads. You might have to get used to a flight pattern before that becomes easy, but this is the ultimate solo heavy fighter in the game currently. When it comes to PvP, it's a little slower than the light fighters. It can be picked apart by a light fighter that knows what he's doing. Go to Avenger 1. He's got videos of going up against this thing, and I think he's got videos of him flying this. Regardless, a hell of a tool. This is going to be a fantastic series of ships. Again, it sells anywhere from $235 for the Hoplite to $290 for the Harbinger, so kind of pricey if you're paying in real money, but this is definitely an in-game, available in-game. So this is the Sentinel. You have bathrooms, you have... this is my favorite part here. The storage doesn't really work. There's nothing that you're going to put in here. I don't trust And of course, this always bugs out. They haven't fixed that yet. But having the weapons racks here, 4 weapons racks, plus the internal storage of the ship, oh, it doesn't show internal storage. I think it has, I can't remember. It's 15K or 150K, something like that. Decent amount of internal storage. Food items that don't really work yet. 2 beds, so you can bed log in here. Now, this is the engineering station. Eventually, this is going to be listening, so on and so forth. You have a turret, which I believe is size 2s. The firing arc on it's okay. You know, if you have a buddy who wants to help you out, you've got that. And then all your components are in the side here. I just found out about this. I didn't realize this was a thing. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Let me. There we go. There's a component down here that's probably going to be for life support or something that's not in the game yet, or a little like storage cubby for illegal goods, maybe. Who knows? But again, interesting. I think this is the, if I remember correct, this is the E-War variant. Interesting ship color, blue and yellow. Looks pretty nice, but not really my thing. This also has this REP-VS. This is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's an EMP generator. It's the strongest EMP generator in the game. I think it's either got a 1400 meter range. I can't remember off the top of my head. But again, just adding that solo capability. Now, on top of the massive amount of weaponry, you can knock out someone's shields pretty quickly. In fact, you can knock out a group's shields if you get them in the right bubble. Here, I think this is the hoplite. Hoplite is the original. Oh, I lied. This is the Warden. So just so you know, this is the Revenant size 4 gun, and I think those are laser repeaters. So this guy, again, weapon rack. That's great. This is the Warden. So this is the one that's going to be like signal jamming and signal intercepting and things like that. So that's, I always get those two mixed up because they're the ones I least pilot. But yeah, we're going to have your server racks. But that's the major difference between those two. That and they flipped the interior layouts, so the munitions and the bathroom and everything are on different sides. The other two variants we have are... Which one are you? This is the Hoplite. So the Hoplite is the original troop transport. And then they decided, well, it doesn't do what we want in Squadron 42, so they built the Valkyrie. Oh, please tell me this isn't going to be one of those ships so I can't open the damn back. That's annoying. Because it's unique enough of a ship, I do like to show it off. And really, I prefer, I mean, at $235, it still gives you the solo capability of having the massive firepower. And also gives you the ability to ferry 6 of your buddies. It's got 10 weapon racks in it. Yeah, it's not going to let me open this. But anyways, so 6 jump seats, 10 weapon racks, decent amount of internal storage, 2 size 2 shields, just like all the other Vanguard series, so tough as rocks, and a shit ton of firepower. Those are size 2 repeaters. So 4 size 2 fixed repeaters and the Revenant are the standard loadout. I just switched this out with an ADB, or, I mean, that's still plenty of firepower to take on whenever you need. And then we have the Harby, the Harbinger. Standard loadout is a C788, which I get rid of that now. It's not as good as some things you can throw on there. And then 4 cannons. Say what you will about ballistics, but I was doing missions earlier. Those cannons chew through shit quick. If you're taking too long to take things down, you're doing something wrong. Just hit your damn targets. So this one has, I can't get up there, but so 4 size 2 missiles over each shoulder. And this is a size 4 missile mount. It's got 2 of these underneath, so you can do 2 size 3s. I think 4 size 2s. I can't remember if it allows size 1s or not. But size 3s are good. I like having size 4s. I know they're kind of anemic this patch, but they'll eventually fix them, and size 4s will smack. Okay. Can't get into this one either. God damn it. Wait. There we go. We might try the hoplite again just so I can show that off. So here, again, bathroom, munitions, weapon rack, beds. The top turret on this is unique. It has twin size 2 rocket pods. Rocket pods kind of got nerfed as well, so not extremely useful, but a unique weapon you can't buy in game yet. Only available on the Mustang Delta in this ship. Well, this is cool as hell. You have 3 size 5 torpedoes. Now, this is not the highest missile DPS ship in the game when it comes to size 5s. The Gladiator technically is able to drop all 4 of its size 5 torpedoes at once. This can only shoot 1 size 5 torpedo, and I believe there's a 9 or 10 second delay in between. That number changes all the time. Every time they update with a patch, there's some new tweak they're trying to do. But still, it's a size 5 torpedo. It's a hell of a lot of missile firepower on top of the 8 size 2s and whatever combination that you have on the underslung setup. But I actually have one of these. This is my favorite solo ERT ship, just because you just have so much freaking firepower at your fingertips. Okay, so here we go. Are we going to be able to get this? Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay. Oops. So here's the hoplite. Again, 2, 4, 6. These weapon racks don't work yet. I don't know if they had been planning on having like heavy weapon rack, light weapon rack. But there are some size differences. None of these containers work. Again, that's all for show. This will probably be like this rack will actually do something eventually, because most ships have some sort of computer rack. But you know, 10 functional weapons racks, so you can clear out a bunker, have a decent amount of storage here for whatever you want. Again, one of my favorite dropships in the game. If I remember correctly, this actually is tougher than a Valkyrie because it has more shields. Valkyrie kind of likes to pop. It's hopefully they'll do an upgrade once armor comes in the game where it's not quite the case. But until then, that hoplite is pretty good, especially for bunker missions. It's compact enough where it's a little easier to land. You're definitely not going to be transporting any vehicles, but you can park close enough that the turret can't fire at you, and you can still get your guys on the ground. Okay, guys, that is actually all for the Aegis Day. So just as a reminder, we are going to be doing a new video either tomorrow or the day after. It's going to be RSI Day. Let's see. Yep, so RSI, Origin, CNOU, or Consolidated Outland, and Argo. RSI is going to be the big one tomorrow. Origin, maybe the 325A. I don't really see them having much combat. They don't have very many combat-capable ships, or combat-focused ships, I should say. CNOU has the Mustang Delta. I have no clue what else they're going to be presenting tomorrow. I may have forgotten one. It's a fun little starter ship, and it's supposed to be like semi-stealth. But it's outclassed by a lot of shit out there. Argo, probably just the MPUV. So the cargo and the personnel version. But this is the general idea. For special sale tomorrow, I believe it's the Phoenix. So that'll go unlimited wholesale. Not really too interested in the Connie Phoenix. The Constellation's a great series of ship, but the Phoenix is like a luxury transport, and I just don't care. Something I'll probably buy in game if I ever want to get into it. So this will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Crusader's got a lot of combat ships now. Tumbril, my recommendation to you guys is when we look at, in fact, let me just go to the ship store, and I'm going to show you. This is my personal philosophy on purchasing these things. If you're going to buy with real money, do not buy ground vehicles with real money. The Spartan, $65 in real life, and I think it's like $500K in game. That is, you can grind out $500K in a couple hours consistently. If you're having issues, it'll take you that long. This is in-game purchase all day long. The only time you're going to see me buy a ground vehicle is if it's like $20-25, and I can use it as an LTI token, which means I can upgrade that ship into something bigger and maintain that permanent insurance. Now, you don't have to do that. There's standalone ships going on sale that have 10 years of insurance. By the time this game releases and 10 years have passed, it's going to be your great frickin' grandchildren that are playing this game. So, really, not necessary. I just like the LTI. I just don't want to have to worry about having to grind through all this shit in game later. The tank is cool. Cool as hell. Again, available in game. And the only ship I hadn't, or ground vehicle I hadn't seen in game, the TR is in game, was the MT, but I think they finally put that in game. But yeah, if it shows up on this list, I wouldn't bother unless you plan on upgrading, because all of this is super cheap in game. Alright, that's all I have for today, guys. Thanks again for watching. More content to follow. If you have any suggestions, I know I'm not editing the content yet. Haven't quite gotten there. I'm just trying to get the content out there to you and see if you actually like the content. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them in the message in the comment field below. And I hope to see you in the verse.